We are back on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio, News Talk, 1180, 1230 KGEO, 1410 KARI, and now on in Albuquerque, New Mexico on 1000 KKIM, and also on the Internet 3 times a week on knookmedia.com, serving Richmond, Oakland, and the San Francisco Bay Area. And you know, we're popular up there, Clay, in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. So what do you think of Catherine?
Oh, Catherine does a wonderful job.
Yeah. I mean, Make-A-Wish Foundation is great anyways, but she does such a great job here in Kern County.
She doesn't stop.
Yep, she really doesn't. Well, we have another one of our favorite guests, repeat guests, coming on right now. Our Hollywood reporter, James Hirsen. James, how are you today?
Fantastic. How are you guys?
You know, for two middle-aged men with limited social skills, we're not doing bad.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, that's good. That's good. And I'm sure you're dealing with the heat wave.
Well, actually, we're going to have our first day of 100-degree temperatures here in Bakersfield today.
Oh, okay.
You know, with global warming,
it's 100 degrees at the beach the last couple of days.
Wow, whereabouts at the beach?
All along the shores of south of Los Angeles, but in Newport Beach, where I am right now.
Wow, I meet my oldest friend and I meet down at Venice, and we ride the bike path all the way down to Redondo and up to Malibu once a month, and you know it's just absolutely beautiful down there. I love Newport Beach.
Well, with global warming, it appears that the systems are changing, and Bakersfield has actually become cooler than the coast.
Well, see,
at least today.
Well, is this according to Al Gore, or is this something that you've come up with on your own?
Both of us.
Oh, okay.
Al and I together.
Working together.
Yeah.
Yeah. After you founded the Internet, you guys decided to go into the global warming.
Well, and now we're into, what's this, where you trade, some kind of trade.
Oh, carbon offset trading.
Yeah, there you go. We're into that, too.
It's like an indulgence, basically. You can go ahead and pollute as much as you want. You get a little certificate that says it's okay.
Exactly. The Al Gore way.
Yeah.
I mean, you tell people not to drive SUVs, and you get on your private airplane and fly off to your SUV.
Do I notice a little bit of sarcasm in both your voices?
Let's talk to James.
Yeah. Well, we're taking a little sidebar here, aren't we?
Yeah.
So
we're talking about Hollywood, and with Hollywood, I'm so disgusted with Hollywood. It's really nice to see them come out and talk a little bit about Sharia law.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and so what prompted this, Hollywood, who had really been silent, basically, with the exception of Mavis Leno, Jay Leno's wife, she's kind of been involved in the forefront of pointing out how women are abused by the Taliban in Afghanistan. But what caught Hollywood's attention, there's a hotel, the Beverly Hills Hotel, home of the Polo Lounge, that has always been the place, with a capital P, the ultimate place to meet, the most expensive place, but the place of great prestige, going back to the golden age of Hollywood, a place where John Wayne and Elizabeth Taylor and Frank Sinatra and Marilyn Monroe, and I could just go on, hung out at the pool, at the Polo Lounge, and now it's empty. Now it's silent. It has been blacklisted. And the reason is it's owned by an entity called the Dorchester Group, which also owns a hotel in Bel Air, hotels across the world, that is funded, its financing comes from the Sovereign Fund of Brunei, which is controlled by the Sovereign of Brunei, the Sultan of Brunei. And so essentially then the shorthand is the Beverly Hills Hotel is owned by the Sultan of Brunei. And since he's a sultan, it's not a democracy, so when he wants to make new law, he speaks it into being, which is very similar to what our country's doing these days.
That's right.
But what he did is he said, okay, we're going to have Sharia law, we're going to have a new penal code, which says, blasphemers will be stoned to death, adulterers as well. But this is what got Hollywood, lesbians and gay men would be stoned to death just for being lesbians and gay men. Now, in a community that is fighting for, same-sex marriage, it shocked their conscience that, hey, being stoned to death, not a good thing, so we're going to boycott the Beverly Hills Hotel, and this creates a number of problems. And of course, this is a cause du jour, and a whole bunch of celebrities piled on, and it's led by, feminist kinds of thoughts, which Hollywood embraces, and gay rights and a whole host of things. But there's two problems. One is that they're late to the game. The second thing is they're punishing the wrong people, because the poor managers of the hotel, the people that work the front desk, the people that carry the luggage, the people that clean the rooms, the people that work in the restaurants are all going to be out of work, or some of them are going to be out of work. And the Sultan, who has a sovereign fund of $40 billion,
Sheesh.
This is nothing. It's change. So the city of Beverly Hills has passed a resolution demanding that the Sultan sell it. They didn't put in the resolution not to Donald Sterling, but the idea is that they want, and they have no power, obviously. They can't force him to sell. Richard Branson somehow joined in on this thing and said that nobody in his country is going to be allowed to stay at any Dorchester hotel. But there's a problem here also that Hollywood's being quite selective. Now, they've woken, and I think this is good, that Sharia law is brutal, that it abuses human rights. However, Hollywood is doing big business with the United Arab Emirates, which has the same law, which has Sharia law. And when I say big business, it's business, billions with a B. Big studio, one of the major studios in Hollywood, Warner Brothers, put together a multi-billion-dollar deal with a region of the United Arab Emirates called Abu Dhabi, which people love to say. But it was for not just films, but for video games, construction of movie theaters, hotels, theme parks. And, one of the films, ironically, that this group financed was a movie called Promised Land. And you may be familiar with this as a Matt Damon movie, which is an anti-fracking propaganda movie.
Oh,
right.
yes.
And so, therefore, that was financed by essentially an OPEC nation telling us, don't become energy independent. Matt Damon was made into a stooge, in essence, by an OPEC nation.
Right.
They also have film festivals in the United Arab Emirates, an Abu Dhabi Film Festival, Dubai Film Festival. The stars mindlessly go there. They wouldn't have gone to South Africa during the boycott, but they mindlessly attend these film festivals. They shoot on location in this country, in the United Arab Emirates. Right now, the latest Fast and Furious sequel, number 74, is being shot in Dubai. Jennifer Lopez just performed there a couple of months ago. Justin Timberlake is scheduled to be there in less than 2 weeks. And then, of course, that Oscar winner we just talked about, Al Gore, he thought, well, it was okay to take more than $100 million, scores of millions of dollars from the government of Qatar, sometimes called Qatar, which is also a Sharia law country, so that he could sell current TV to Al Jazeera. So I love that Hollywood's awakened, but if they're going to wake up Sharia law at the Beverly Hills Hotel, they also have to look around in the community and say, we're encouraging Sharia law in these other places.
Well, money trumps law, and it always has. And that's the basic problem.
Well, yeah, and you guys are both right. There's a lot of inconsistency there in Hollywood's stand. When we come back from the break, well, actually, we got about a minute left. One of the inconsistencies that I see is Duck Dynasty. I've never watched the program, but here you have Phil Robertson making a comment on a religious belief that he has. Yet you've got the president of Iran who has beheaded and stoned gay people, and he was invited not too long ago to Columbia University. Where's the consistency there in the stand?
No, and inconsistency is one of the hallmarks of the left, and particularly the Hollywood left. It's just what we were talking about before. It's like railing against, SUVs and the use of gas guzzling vehicles and flying around in a private jet. It's just something that they can live with cognitive dissonance. It's the people that say, I stand for free speech. I want free speech in my movies. But Sean Penn, who says that, will go put his arm around the current leader of Venezuela who suppresses free speech.
Yeah.
So it's, and of course, they believe in the kind of policies and political correctness umbrella that's really hushing people very, very quickly in this country. You mentioned they tried to do it with Duck Dynasty. It failed. But look what was done with the CEO of Mozilla. Look at the disproportionate coverage and really actions by the NBA regarding Donald Sterling.
Yeah, let's pick up with Donald Sterling when we come back. That's a good example. We'll be back in a moment on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio News Talk 1180.